and try and lubricate that spindle so that hopefully that sort the problem out. If not, I'm going to have to come back to drain it down and then change the whole valve body head, but I'm going to have to cut a bit more of this cupboard unit out in order to get to it because I can't work on it like this. How are we doing, everyone? I'm doing a separate video on what I'm doing on this job at the moment, which is back at this one where I rebuilt that Worcester fitting a condense pump, but that's going to be on a separate video. I've also got to do a radiator downstairs, which I'll put into this video. But yeah, I'm going to do a how to install a condense pump video, so that might help you guys out. It's my first time fitting a condense pump, and I don't know when I'm going to get an opportunity to do another how-to video again, so I thought this might come in handy for you guys. So I'll put a little link up once I've done it, but that's going to be in a separate video. But at the moment, I'm just going to crack on with this, and then we'll go downstairs and change the radiator. Okay, so the condense pump is all done. I'm just going to test it now. There we go. It's pumping away. Happy days. Okay, so condense pump's done. Like I said, that's going to be another separate video on how to wire a condense pump or how to install a condense pump. Now, let's go and deal with that radiator in the hallway. Right, a bit of a change of plan. I was supposed to hang a column radiator for them, but the radiator that they've had it for a few years and they didn't have any brackets or the valves. So they're going to try and source the brackets and the valves. Or I said to them that I'll try and get the brackets. It was a column radiator, so they're not just standard brackets. So yeah, I've fitted the condense pump. That's done. Now I've got a mission. I've got an absolute mission. I've got to go to SW11 and sort out a boiler there. It's an ECA boiler. So yeah, it's going to be about an hour and a half drive. So I'll catch you guys when I get there. Right, so I'm at the next boiler breakdown. We've got a situation where the customers, they can't get the heating to turn off. So even if they turn it off from the thermostat, it's still firing up the boiler. They've currently turned off all the radiators manually. And I'm here now. They showed me the hot water cylinder, which is over here. So hot water cylinder is in this lovely tight cupboard. No zone valves or anything there. But boiler is underneath here. Amazing access, and everything else that I need is there as well. So we've got an expansion vessel, our pump, our 3-port, all of that's in there, and I'm gonna hazard a guess that there's a fault with the 3-port. It's either letting by or it's passing, but to get to that is going to be an absolute nightmare, because even if we move the washing machine out the way, there's a unit here. So getting to anything, I have no idea how that's going to work. I'm going to carry out a few tests first to see if there's anything I can do with that 3-port at the moment. Otherwise, I don't know how I'm going to get into there unless cutting out that whole unit on the side. But let's run a few checks, see exactly what it's doing, and we'll go from there. Right, so I've made it in behind the washing machine. I'm going to see if because right now what I can see is, just bring you guys a little bit closer, that the spindle is loose on there. So that head is stuck in the open position. Now, I need to get the head off to be able to determine whether it's the spindle on the body that's seized or if it's just this. I'm hoping it's just this, because then that's an easier change. If the body's seized, that is going to be an absolute nightmare to try and change because of the positioning and the location of it. But let's get this off and see if it's just that. Right, managed to get the head off, but that is seized. It was stiff. I've just used a pair of grips and I've managed to free it up a little bit. But what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to get a bit of WD-40, square it around there and try and lubricate that spindle so that hopefully that sort the problem out. If not, I'm going to have to come back to drain it down and then change the whole valve body head. But I'm going to have to cut a bit more of this cupboard unit out in order to get to it because I can't work on it like this. So I'm hoping that just by lubing that up a bit, that should sort the problem. That seems to be working because it springs back, so that's fine. Just got to try and sort that out. Right, so there's a little circlip that sits behind there, which I've managed to get out very gently. and managed not to lose it. Let's just tuck that out of the way. Now what I'm going to do just now firstly is just spray that spindle a bit WD-40. Okay, I'm gonna gently tap that in. Don't want to lose it. I'm trying to see. That's gone in. Now, so it grips. So now there's WD-40 on that spindle, and the idea is to let that lubricate it in and out. So that frees it up, and then pull it as you're doing it, so it moves in and out. And be careful you don't pull it too much, because I've had it before where I've pulled it. Let me just move the microphone, it's a bit more clearer. Here, well, I've pulled it and it's broken out, and then I've had a jet of water just coming out, and I don't want that today, not right now. So I'm just trying to move the microphone somewhere it's not going to be too muffled either. Right, so let's try and pull that out. The trouble is I can't see how far I'm pulling it out. Let's pull it out a bit more, because it needs to be enough so that the circlip can go back in. I think that's about right. Okay, so WD-40 is done. Now what I also use is a bit of this. It's just fan oil. You can get a bit of machine oil or whatever. Let me just get it to come out. Yeah, so then drop a bit of oil on there as well. And now same again. I'm going to tap that in. Alright, that's enough. Now let's, so again, the idea is that the oil will lubricate itself as it goes in, and you should be able to then turn it by hand. Right, let me just have a look. Yeah, that's come out far enough. Now, if I can turn it by hand, then we should be okay. I'll wipe it off afterwards as well. So, yeah, so that's moving by hand now. So hopefully that's sorted the problem out. But if it still lets by, then I'm going to have to change the 3-port altogether anyway. But can't do that today. This is just a little temporary measure. And if they report that it's still happening, then I'll have to come back, create better access and do it. Right, let's try and get this circlip back in. I want to make sure that doesn't ping out. Where's my little flathead gone? Where's it gone? Oh, I'll just use this flathead. There we go. Right, cool. The other flathead's fallen in here. Okay, so now let's get the 3-port to manual position. Oh, come on, stay. No, come on, stay open. It's probably because, I haven't turned the power off. Don't tell anyone. Right, as long as that's in. 1 screw. 2 screw. now, if I need to find the program and turn the heating off or turn the hot water on, and then hopefully that should spring back. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I think that's sorted it out, because heating pipe, I can keep my hand on it, no problem. That's fine. Hot water side, yeah, I can literally just, that's hot. So I think that's sorted it out, because I do not want to be in here trying to fix that. What I had to do as well is, where I couldn't find, let me just bring you guys back out, couldn't find where the cylinder stat was in that cylinder cupboard. So little trick that might help you guys out as well. If you can't find the cylinder stat, or it's not sure if it's working properly, open up a hot tap, literally let that run for about a few minutes, and obviously the temperatures drop down, the hot water demand is on from the programmer, so that kicked the boiler in for hot water, and I saw the spindle on the 3-port valve motor back close to hot water position. And now, yeah, by putting my hands on the pipes, the heating side I can keep my hand on it, hot water side I can't, which means it should be a good job done. If they do complain that the heating is still coming on, and that means the 3-port is passing, yeah, I'm not looking forward to getting into there. I'll probably have to cut another section out of here so I can get into there properly to work on it. But yeah, hopefully that one's done. How are we doing, everyone? So today's job is a boiler install. I'm going to be helping out my friend D from the DC group. We've got a Valiant 630 going out and an A-tag. Can't remember what the kilowatt of it is, but yeah, we've got an A-tag going in. He's already made a mistake, hasn't he? He's ordered the wrong boiler. It's a system for system, and he ordered a combi, but all is not lost. The new one's here already. So the boiler's there. I'll just take you inside, just give you guys a bit of a heads up. The customers, they don't really want us filming anything inside the house, which is understandable. So this video is probably going to be just a lot of us and the boiler itself. We've got to try not to get any of the house in, or as little of the house in as possible. But let's go inside. I'll show you the condition of the current boiler and we'll take it from there. Okay, so this is the boiler that's coming out, 630. Bit of an awkward flue run. I wouldn't say it's too bad. It should be okay. Probably got another clip there as well, because there's going to be an extension there. But yeah, have a look at the inside of that. And the reason why that's happened is because we've got a split main heat exchanger right there, and that's just all dribbled down everywhere. It's just, yeah, completely destroyed the boiler inside. Obviously some of the components are still okay, but it's not worth trying to salvage this. So this is coming out today. We've got one underfloor heating loop. D, how many radiators we've got?
10.
10 radiators. So
Expansion vessel going on.
We've got another expansion vessel going in as well. So yeah, it's it should be a fairly straightforward day, I hope. I think D at the moment is just setting up the power flush machine. Let's have a look. What are you connecting onto?
Well, I've got another hose there, and then we run the 10 meters inside. So
all right,
the connection
cool.
is outside the house.
So we can put
So if it weeps,
the power flush machine and everything. That's all going out there. He uses a Camco. Yeah, Nordstrom. That's what we want. This is the boiler that's going in. We've got an A-tag. What? How many kilowatts?
24.
So this is a 24 going in.
Range rated down to 18.
Okay, so we're going to range rate it down as well. Make the system run as efficiently as possible. I'm going to start stripping this out, get this off the wall, and then get the power flush running and go from there. Don't you just hate it when this happens? Trying to get the nipple off, and the whole bloody thing spins. Oh, it's annoying. Luckily, I've got a little friend, Plum Chum. If you guys don't know about this, it's basically like a little multi-tool. You've got a 10mm socket, bit holder, rad bleed key, flat slotted bit, multiple grit. It's got multiple uses. It sits on my keyring and it is quite handy. So you've got a little bit to get the meat and nipples out. There we go. Right, now I can start my tightness test.
It's asking about tea or coffee or anything like that.
I've just had a coffee, so I'm right at the moment. What about you?
I'm good, bro. I normally don't.
Nah.
Not tea, coffee, burns, mate. Water all day.
Water all day. He's
get rid of this.
retaining a lot of water.
Yeah.
Right, the good thing is we've got a 28mm gas run from here. It is 15 inside where the boiler is, but there's a stub of 22 and then it comes up in 15. So that's where we're gonna cut a little section out and then latch back onto 22 and just go straight back onto the boiler. But that's good that we've got a good 28mm gas run, so we shouldn't have any problems. There is a lucky outside drain off here as well, but I don't think we're gonna need to drain the whole system down. I've isolated the boiler underneath, gonna crack that, relieve the pressure out of it, get the boiler off the wall. Dee's going to start power flushing from a rad, and then we can start piping up from there. Right, so boiler's all been disconnected. It's all been drained out. Gas is off, that's off, PRV's off, condensate's disconnected, flue's been disconnected, and supplies. It's not sealed, which actually does us a bit of a favour. So just going to get this off now. Big man with a big roll of blue. Look, it's bigger than your head, bro.
30 quid that thing.
Ah, better be worth it. Right, let's get this off the wall.
Got it?
Yep. Right. Plasterboard. So get them butterfly fixings out and then get it on. Okay, so we've got the jig on the wall, so the A tags, they come with a jig and then you hang the boiler on. Sometimes I get the boiler on and then pipe up, but while D's still flushing, I'm gonna pipe it all up first and then we'll get the boiler on afterwards. So flow's got to come up and then into there. Gas, need to pick it up from 22 down there and bring it up straight into here. The return essentially should go straight there, but we need to put in the filter as well, so we'll do that afterwards. And then these come with a combined condense and PRV. So that's the old PRV, which we can remove. And then the new condense and PRV will just tie into the existing condense there. We do need to fit an external vessel, just a small 8-litre one. So I think we've got enough space. We should be able to fit it there, or see if I can get it on this wall here. It's only a tiny one. Where is it? Somewhere down here. There it is, just a little one. So that should be okay. So we're going to start with the flow. Cut a little section out here so I can get to the gas there, bring that up, and then get the return done. So yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so that's a good start. Flow's already done. Street elbow, elbow, elbow. That's in there. Now the gas, so that's running in 15, but the 22 is literally just there. So I'm going to cut a little section out here, get onto the 22 there, and then just figure out which is going to be. I think I'm probably going to have to take the same path here because we've got these studs of wood here, so it's going to be difficult to feed it up between there. So if I can get onto the 22 in there and then just come straight back up here in 22, bring it across there, up, and then into the gas connection there. That should sort the gas out. Slight change of plan. Underneath here, it's all a mishmash of pipes and cables. I don't know if I can get the camera in there. So to get the press gun underneath there would have been a bit of a headache anyway. So what I've decided, put a little heat mat here. I'm going to sweat that elbow out there. Sweat the reducer out, get a length of 22, fish it straight down from the top there and solder it straight back into that elbow. Hopefully that works. Excuse the hair. I am going to get a haircut tomorrow and hopefully we can get that sorted out. Right, the unit light's probably going to die, but managed to solder that in. I tried to put a clip there, but there's not enough room because I've got to try and get behind that pipe, but got a clip there. Now from there, I'm probably thinking, get it out there, 90 bend, straight into there. I'm not sure if I'm going to just solder all of the gas or do part of it in press. We'll see in a minute, but just want to get that done first. Okay, so the flow and the gas is all done. We've tested the gas, tightness test is all good. Just got to do the return now. The power flush is done. What we've found as well, there's no bypass on this system as well. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to take out this butterfly valve and put a compression T in there, come up with an angle bypass, get that bypass into there, come across there, up with the filter there, and then T off just above the filter and put the little vessel just up there. Hopefully that should give us enough space. So D's gonna run down to tool station, pick up the angle bypass. I've had a bit of lunch, so I'm ready to crack on now. Just getting there. Power flush is all done, so that's all good. Yeah, just keep going. So a bit of a progress update. We've got a bit of difficulty getting access to the flue from the outside. So I've just popped down to tool station, picked up a flue snug because we're going to try and, well, D's inside and he said he's going to be coring a 152 hole from the inside, and then we can push the flue snug through and then put it back on itself, and that should seal it. And I've also, where's this drop down here? Oh, I've got the bypass as well, so pick those two bits up. I can hear a lot of drilling going on, so it sounds like maybe he hasn't finished coring it yet, but let's go inside and have a look, see how he's getting on.
What's the postcode?
Look how dusty this guy is. Dusty dwarf. Let's see how he's getting on. Oh, okay, so it looks like he's managed to core the inside. Now he's just trying to get the outer skin done, because the core hole there was off on the inside. It looks like they cored one half from the inside and the other half from the outside, so it was slightly off center. So yeah, he's trying to get that through now.
I have to stitch that, Joe, you know that.
Oh, you can't core it straight through?
It's biting you don't understand. I'm scared I'll hit that vessel off.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That bad?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch it.
Yeah.
You can then get the little SDF, break it,
yeah,
create a little crater, and then go through. And then we'll put that side, put it through.
Yeah.
Put this one,
flash it through.
Flying.
All right, well, trying to get somewhere. Right, so we finally managed to core it through. Now, this is the great thing about these flue snugs, because we haven't got access to the outside. I was able to squeeze the flue snug, push it through, and then pull it back on itself, so you can see that's now made an airtight and watertight seal, so that conforms to Part L, and it also conforms to gas safe regs as well for sealing the flue, so we don't actually have to do any sand cement. And then on the inside, we'll just pop this one on. So because the terminal on the A tag is black, we put the black one on the outside and white one on the inside. So now we'll get the flue through, get it here, because we want to put the vessel on here as well before we get the boiler on the wall. Otherwise we're going to be a little bit tight for space. But that bit's done now. So yeah, let's get the flue in and then move on from there. Right, we're getting there. Now, before we show you this, it's not a work of art. We've literally just had to deal with what we've had. So there you go. So it's not Instagram pretty or whatever. The bypass, we had to tee in here. There was no other way of doing it. I was going to try and tee off the return to go to the vessel there, but we couldn't because there's just not enough space. So we swapped that butterfly valve out for a compression tee, put the bypass there, bring it down into the tee. Yes, that is at an angle, but it's because that whole pipe is going at an angle, so we're kind of governed by that. Managed to keep things as straight as possible vertically, and the vessel, this is how we had to do it. So when we pressed this, it pressed it in a way somehow it's just gone at an angle, but the boiler's going to go on there, so you're not going to see that, so I'm not worried about how that looks. It's functional. Brought that round there next to the boiler and then into the vessel. There was literally no space. I'm really not a fan of these Fernox filters because of just how big they are. You can't really fit much above or below it, because the plan was initially do this, put the filter, then put a T off of there and then go to the vessel there. But you can see there's just not enough space there for all those fittings. So this is how we've had to do it. So excuse how it looks. Wear some beer goggles, it might straighten it up for you. But once the boiler goes in there, you're not going to see that. And that's just literally just going to the vessel. So now that that's all done, we're going to get the boiler on the wall. We've managed to sort the flue out. So the flue's been flue snugged. Then as soon as the boiler's on, elbow, cut the extension down, whack that into there, wire it in, commission it, and then we should be good to leave. Yeah, it's one of the jobs where system boiler, it should have been pretty straightforward, but it's been fairly straightforward. I mean, the time is 5:30, so it's not too bad. It's just this return and getting that flue took a lot of time, but we're getting there. Just got a few more bits left to do, and then we can finish up. Yeah.
When I pass it over to you.
Yeah, because I'm going to need it. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got it. I've got it. Just trying to see where these hooks are. Hold it from the bottom for a second.
Up. On the way.
Lovely. Cool. So boiler is on. It's literally just got 2 hooks up at the back there. Swings down. It's in the jig. There we go. Now just got to put all the washers in there.
2, 3.
There we go. It's not coming off the wall.
Coming off the wall.
We've got just enough space on the side there for the piping up the vessel as well. So now we just get all the washers in, tighten all the connections up, and we can start filling up.
Don't make the same mistake I did. Valent, Flue, turret back. I forgot the 45s. Luckily I had them in stock and we managed to get it done. So I'm going to show you now what the difference is. So
the Valent Flue is about 150 centimeters from the back, and the A-tag one sits a lot further forward. So D had to make a phone call, got a 45 delivered to site, and we managed to get that done. So boiler's all fired up now. He's going to finish up just doing the commissioning. I've done what I was here to do, which is help pipe up and other bits and pieces, tied it up as much as I can. I'm going to make a move now. D's going to do his thing, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you soon.